Good morning, small players, and happy Wednesday. Today we had a really fun day in the market. As you guys know, when we did the stream, we had a lot of stocks on the scanner and quite a lot of stocks that were moving. The absolute biggest mover for the day was Revlon again. As you guys know, the company filed for bankruptcy. Normally, what ends up happening is short sellers destroy it on the news and they get trapped, and then there's a little bit of buying sometimes by long-term investors trying to reduce their average before they get out. Other times from traders, like what we discussed yesterday, people that don't understand what happens when a company goes bankrupt and the fact that the stock price will get delisted, the stock will get delisted, the ticker REV will get delisted no matter what. And if the company does figure it out, a new ticker will come out. So your shares will be worthless trading on the over-the-counter market. But a lot of people don't understand this. There's some buying there. And then what ends up happening is shorts start getting squeezed. Once they start getting squeezed, then the traders, come in and start trading it. So yesterday, if you guys remember, we had an alert for break above 5. It's been parabolic since then. Found the wall on 7. It broke above 7 in the institutional trading session and then bounced on 7. So now it's struggling with 8.29. I would set an alert for break above 8.5. Similarly to yesterday, I would rather wait for a higher entry, which is the squeeze, as opposed to trying to buy it anywhere lower and get trapped in a bull trap. Yesterday, actually, I was being greedy. And even though we marked a break of 5 as the entry, I did try to enter here. Excuse me, because it's squeezed above VWAP on bell. So I try and enter and VWAP bounce, and I took a red trade here. So I was like, no, I'm just going to wait for the trade. And once the trade came, it was an insane move. So it was a good reminder for me to be patient, not have FOMO. It happens to all of us. So anyway, so that would be my entry on Revlon. The next one is CLVS. We traded this one yesterday as well. It had quite the moves. I'm going to clear out the chart just to mark the levels that are important today still. I'm going to send alert for break above 2.3, which is the high of the day of today. And then obviously break above 2.4 would squeeze out shorts from yesterday. And 2.5 is just a psychological level. For stock in this price point, a very important one. Before that, we have this level right here. What is the high on this candle? 207. And this one, 216. And this one, too. Okay, so with all of that said, looking at this chart, it could give a bounce on 1.6 or 155-ish. These two areas from yesterday for a reversal trade. I don't love reversal trades below EMA 20, so I would stay away from those, but we have a lot of reversal traders in the chat room that would love, a trade there. For me, I would wait for break above VWAP. And, that's a nice ride towards 2, and then break of 2 is another squeeze towards high of day. CLVS. Then we have DNAY. This one is the new addition to the scanner this week. I like this chart. You guys know I like these when there's plenty of room from where we are to high of day. Stocks will normally try and get back out there in the way they trade. Obviously, doesn't always happen, but it gives us a good price target. So with that said, it's actually bouncing on 2.5, which is a key level from yesterday. It was a high of day of yesterday, so it's resistance turns support. As you guys know, not my favorite type of trades, because whenever the stock is below EMA 20, EMA 20 moves down a lot more sharply than VWAP because it's a lower time frame indicator. So it just, as you're trading, the resistance comes closer and closer to you. So maybe when you started the trade, you had 20 cents range, but as the trade goes, it dropped to 10 cents, and it's just harder to trade. So I would wait here for break above 3. And break above 3 would be a great trade towards 325, 375. We'll probably have to take profit on 3.5 because it's psychological level. But it's nice. It has resistances every 25 cents. Obviously, VWAP is somewhere here, but it's descending. By the time it gets up there, by the time the stock gets up there, VWAP might be below it. If it's right above it, obviously we wouldn't want to get hit in VWAP, so we'd wait for break above VWAP. Excuse me, I really like this one though. DNAY. Actually, I'm gonna make the trade plan so we don't forget it. 301 to 74 because we know it has levels on every 25 cents. As you see, our chat room is active and awake early in the morning. All of our students have some sort of commitments outside of trading. No one's full-time trader yet, so they either have school or a job, or have some work at home with their kids. So everyone finds a time of day that's best for them to trade. And if you don't have commitments at 7 a.m. Eastern time, it's a great time to wake up and analyze the pre-market and do all of this charting, set your alerts, and then throughout the day, if you're busy, when your alerts hit, you take 5 minutes to trade. Our trades, this is day trading, they don't last very long. And we have students that do it from their bathroom in the office, etc. Okay, this one is BOXD. I would set an alert here for break above 2. Before that, it is interesting right now. It's giving a bounce on this level of 177, which was previous flat top. You see these 2 candles here. Excuse me, it's also EMA 20. There's a spread, so at pre-market I wouldn't trade this bounce because the spread is 3 cents and my range from EMA 20 to VWAP is 5 cents, so I don't have enough of a range to be able to justify trading with such a spread. But that's a good setup throughout the day when the volume picks up on any sort of stock. A bounce on EMA 20 towards VWAP with this much room between them is always an easy trade. This one is VBIV. Wow, this stock I feel like used to be more expensive in the past. It hit 1 today, which is a big deal. Now short sellers took over it, but I'm going to set an alert for that break above 1 so that if it happens in the next few days, we can trade it. For right now, I'm just setting an alert about break of 85. I just want to see, oh yeah, it was more expensive. I think in the past might have been even more expensive. 3-year, yeah. We definitely have traded it a lot. So I hope it sticks within the $1 range. Anything below that is not something I love trading. So, okay, this one is RIGL. Volume's too low here to do anything, so we can just leave it alone for now. And this one, the volume's too low. I want to look at MREO, which was a trade, big trade for us yesterday. It's not on the scanner this morning. The reason being, it's a little deceiving, right? Because it went up during after hours and then it retraced the move in the pre-market. So basically, it looks like it's set out to open at the same level where it closed yesterday, which doesn't qualify it as a gapper. That's why it's not on scanner. But it did gap overnight. It gapped up and gapped down. And because it was a mover yesterday, I just want to keep an eye on it. I don't want to forget it. So let's chart it out. Okay, so we can send alert for break above 205, which is the break above yesterday's high, yesterday's after hours high. In the meantime, I mean, it could be bouncing here. It sort of has a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple top. That level of support has been tested way too many times, and it's not on scanner, so I'm definitely not interested in that. Even if it was on scanner, you know, for test and support is not something I take. So I'm going to mark these levels for bounces for people that like to trade reversals. You know, any of these levels could provide support, and then a bounce there could be a trade. For me, I probably, depends on how low it goes. You know, if it goes all the way down to 1.5, then break above VWAP is a valid trade where shorts could get squeezed. But where it's at now, I wouldn't trade break above VWAP. It's too close. So now I would wait for break above 2. So we can keep it on watch list and monitor it. The other thing I wanted to take a look at was TQQQ and SQQQ. Well, let's first look at the QQQ. So yesterday we're trading TQQQ because the general market was just on a rally. If you guys remember, a couple days ago, we set the alert for break of, where's the for break of 24.25 on TQQQ, and it triggered this yesterday. So it was a trade 225. It was a nice trade. So this morning, I'm gonna send alert for break above 23.5. And then if the market has some sort of reversal, because we see it gap down, now it's trying to do a dead cat bounce after a gap down. This dead cat bounce after a gap down is something that we trade oftentimes on small caps as well, and this is how we trade it. We just look for a break above the level of resistance. So if it breaks above that, we can, you know, trade a move towards these levels of resistance. And on the flip side of that, the inverse, SQQQ, you know, if it bounces on 61, meaning, you know, the general market tries to break above a level of resistance and it cannot, it rejects it, we can, you know, take that bounce there. For a breakout, we'll see when if the market starts going on the downside. What would that be here? Maybe 62.5 or 63 break. I'm going to sell right now for 62.5. Okay, you guys, that is it for this morning. I will see you in the chat room.